Hello there, welcome to Bryan Lomax Movie Talk and my review for John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum. Parabellum meaning prepare for war, which is exactly what is going to happen in this film. War, all out war. Yes, the world, it seems, against John Wick. Now for anyone who's seen the other two films, this one pretty much follows on directly from the second film, which means that all three of these films have kind of taken place over the period of like 1 week or something. It's quite a lot for one man to go through, to be honest, in that space of time. But hey ho, there you go. Yeah, so we've basically got John Wick in excommunicado, which basically means he's been tossed out of the group. You know, the Assassins Club, so to speak. Now all assassins are after him because he broke the rules and killed someone in the second film on, on consecrated ground, so to speak. That's it. That's the story. That's about as much story as you need in a John Wick film, because let's face it, you come to it for the action sequences, of which there are many in this one, and they are suitably inventive and brilliantly executed, it must be said, as with the previous two films. Yeah, I became a fan of this franchise with the second film. I for whatever reason, I didn't get sold on the first go around with the first film. I don't know, I was in a bad mood or whatever, but yeah, it took the second film to kind of wake me up to how good they were. No, it's business as usual. If you like those two films, I think you'll like this one, is pretty much the cut and thrust of it. We do get some new characters in this, one of these standouts being Halle Berry. She comes into this as someone from John Wick's past, someone who kind of has a blood oath to him in the way that he had a blood oath to the dude from the second film, and he cashes that in to try and get her help. And yeah, I like the chemistry between those two. I love her weapons of choice, which are these dogs, these highly trained dogs, which are kind of become the stars of the film for the section that they're in. Really, again, it just adds to that creativity of the action sequences, which I'm always amazed by with these films, because we've seen so many action sequences in Hollywood movies and that I'm always really impressed when filmmakers can deliver something that feels fresh, that feels like we've not seen it before. And there's a couple of scenes like that in here. One involving a horse in these stables, and basically John Wick using the horse as a weapon. And then, as I say, this big action set piece with Halle Berry and John Wick and all these other guys, and she uses her dogs on these guys, and just, yeah, the way in which she uses them, the dog's doing some stunt work, one particular one where it jumps on her back and then up this tall building, and it's just, yeah, it's impressive. I find it refreshing. It's something that I don't feel I've seen before, and yeah, you know, third film in, really happy that they can still surprise me like that. Another new character is this one played by Asia Kate Dillon. She plays this woman called the Adjudicator, who essentially comes in, well, to adjudicate. She's basically there to make decisions on behalf of the high table based on, yeah, the actions that people did in the previous film. She's there to punish them, basically, decide on what their fate should be. I like the character, but I'm not quite sure I like the performance. It feels a bit of an obvious performance to me. It feels, I don't know, just like someone's come in and been, yes, this is a character that would be very by the book and this, that and the other, and the performance kind of really speaks to that, which it's appropriate, but I don't know, it just feels heavy-handed. The performance feels heavy-handed, which I know is rich coming from a John Wick film. You know, these aren't exactly films made with the lightest of touch, obviously. They're very on the nose. But like I say, it just, to me, I'm just not sold on this character, mainly because of the performance, not necessarily her function within the story. Someone I really like in this is Dacascos, who I've not seen in movies for a long time. He seemed to just kind of fade away. He was touted as like one of the big up and coming kung fu like action stars way back when, and it didn't kind of materialize. But yeah, he's here and I really like his character. He's this guy who's got like ultimate respect for John Wick. He's kind of a fan. He kind of geeks out when he gets to sit down and chat with him, but at the end of the day he's trying to kill him, and yeah, some humor arises out of that, but yeah, he's an interesting character, and I like the way that Dacascos plays him, and they have some real kick-ass moments between the two of them as well. There's a stretch in the film kind of within the first half, which is all the stuff when John Wick is kind of traveling the globe trying to find basically a way out. He's trying to find a particular person to speak to that might help resolve the situation, and I do find that when we're not having any action, that stretch does kind of lag a bit. It does make me kind of think, check my watch a bit. Mainly because I think the characters in this film, in this series really, other than John Wick himself and maybe a couple of the other peripheries, they're not fleshed out enough to make me care too much about them. So a lot of the dialogue stuff, you know, dialogue scenes between certain characters, I'm not that interested in. So yeah, what can I say? But like I say, I did like the stuff with Halle Berry's character. It'd be nice to see where they might go with her character in future installments. I wasn't that fussed about Angelica Houston's character. I feel like we should be. I feel like there's like a motherly kind of vibe there, kind of surrogate motherly vibe there, but I didn't really key into it in the way that I think I was supposed to. I don't know. It just, because we've not had mention of her in the previous films, it's just kind of, she's only just been introduced now. It's kind of like, whatever. But like I say, it's not what I come to this film for, you know. It's not the main thing about these movies, the story, the character development. It's mainly just seeing John Wick kick ass, and he does that in abundance. So like I say, fight scenes are amazingly creative. There is one thing towards the end which I'm not going to spoil, but it does involve a character making a certain decision that kind of comes out of the blue and doesn't make sense either way that you cut it. There's two possible motives you could have for making this decision, and either way it doesn't kind of work, because if he was going one way it kind of has certain ramifications, and if he's going another way, again, that has ramifications that in the grand scheme of things don't really make much sense. So yeah, has a bit of a weak spot towards the end of the film, but yeah, not enough to spoil my enjoyment when the action is flying. Like I say, there's a lot of that. This is definitely a film in which style takes precedence over substance, and I'm not sure I'd have it any other way, to be honest. Like there's literally a scene where so John and a couple of other guys are kind of holed up in the Continental, and a load of other people come busting in to take them down, and they flip these neon lights on. Yeah. One of them says, let's set the atmosphere. These smoke bombs get set off, and then they flip these neon lights on. And it would do nothing within a fight. You know, it wouldn't help them in any way to have those lights on. There's no advantage to having them on. But it looks cool on camera. I do feel there's a few moments in this one as well. I mean, there have been in the previous two, but I don't know, even more so here. And again, going back to that fact that this is essentially the latter half of this long week. You know, by now John Wick should be getting really past it. And we do see a couple of moments in this where, you know, people make reference to the fact that he's slowing down. There's moments in this film where, quite frankly, he shouldn't even be walking. Certain things that happen, particularly one scene toward the end of the film, you're just kind of like, should you be getting up from that? No, I don't think you should. And if it had been another character in this film, they wouldn't be. But because it's John, hey, yeah, he's superhuman. Yeah, maybe jumps the shark a bit there, I don't know. But whatever, like I say, I love the action. There you go. I'm going to give this film a 4 out of 5. Yeah, it's just a blast, you know, switch your brain off. I hate saying that, but it is that kind of film, you know. Things blow up, people get hit, people get shot, people get, yeah, all manner of things happen to them in inventive ways. So if that's your bag, check it out. It's mine. So yeah, there you go. 4 out of 5. But what about you? Have you seen John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum? And if so, what did you think about it? Leave your comments below, let me know, and until next time, crack in.